Welcome to Box Recaps. Today, I'm going to explain the movie Extraction, released in the year 2020. The movie starts off with a bang, as suspenseful music kicks in, and we see an abandoned bridge, where we see a soldier who seems tired, yet committed as he marches forward with his rifle aimed ahead, trying to find the enemy. The bridge has a lot of old cars that act like cover for the hidden enemy. The soldier keeps on marching ahead, alert for any kind of movement. When the first enemy comes out to attack him, he instantly shoots him down and follows this with another one. He is about to go ahead when he gets shot, which forces him to go down. He drags himself to cover. There, it seems he is about to die, as a memory of his which shows someone walking on the beach flashes by. The scene changes and we are in Mumbai, India. A school is shown from where students are going home. One of the children, Ovi Mahajang Jr., goes with his friends to eat and reaches home a little late. Here, he is greeted by a man named Saju, who seems like his guardian, who tells him strictly that he has to come home straight from school. That night, Ovi's friends plan to meet in the club. Here, they ask him to go ask out a girl, but Ovi is a shy person and hesitates to do so. Hence, they plan to smoke weed so that Ovi could have the confidence to speak. They go out in the back and smoke a joint, but a car approaches them, and out comes two police officers. Since weed is illegal in India, they quickly try to hide the weed. But in a jaw-dropping turn of events, instead of arresting them, the police officers kill Ovi's friends and kidnap Ovi. In the next scene, we are in jail, where we see Ovi Mahajang Sr., the father of Ovi. He is a drug lord. Saju comes to meet him and lets him know that he will do whatever he can to bring back his son. Saju wants to negotiate with the kidnappers, but Ovi Sr. asks him to go to Bangladesh and bring back his son. When Saju hesitates to agree, Ovi threatens him with his life. Saju goes back home and lets his wife know. He says that they have no choice but to help Ovi get his son back. Saju says he has a plan. The scene changes and we are in Australia. Here we see three people that are resting. One of them is talking about how deep is the lake beside the rock they are sitting on. The soldier we saw at the start of the movie is also here. He is resting and sipping a beer. He gets up, and to everyone's horror, he nonchalantly just jumps into the lake. It is a big freefall before he dives in. He then goes to the bottom and sits on the lake floor, almost as if he is meditating. We see the same guy approaching his run-down house. Here, he is greeted by his dog and a woman named Nick Khan, who is waiting for him. Nick lets him know of the extraction of a son of a drug lord who was kidnapped in Dhaka by a gangster named Amir Asif. She warns him that it is a difficult task, but he is not bothered. She again repeats the danger, but he says that he needs the money. Since he is drunk, she says that he should meet her tomorrow. We also learn that the name of the soldier is Tyler. In the next scene, we see Saju and his people letting Tyler and his team know about the extraction. They let him know everything about Ovi. They also let him know of the conflict between the biggest drug lord in India, Ovi Mahajang Sr., and the biggest drug lord in Bangladesh, Amir Asif, which led to this kidnapping. After receiving the relevant information, Tyler and his team ready for the mission. Now we are in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Tyler is sitting on a random street waiting for a phone call. The phone rings, and he is instructed to go towards the street. Here he is blindfolded, kidnapped, and taken into some old room in a van. In the room, Tyler asks for proof of Ovi being alive, but the kidnappers ask for money. The leader, Kalam, tries to scare Tyler by pulling the trigger on him, but Tyler is unfazed, as he knows that the gun has no magazine. Kalam and his gang laugh, amazed at his bravery. Afterward, they begin to talk business. He shows Tyler the proof of Ovi being alive. Kalam then warns him that Ovi Mahajang Sr. better pay up the ransom, or he will kill Ovi Mahajang Jr. himself. After this, Tyler is blindfolded and escorted out. They are moving down a flight of stairs, where one of the people marching Tyler gets shot through the window by a sniper, a person who is supposedly a member of Tyler's gang. Tyler grasps this opportunity and manages to take down the other person escorting him. After that, he cuts himself free. He then goes back to the room where he was held captive and kills everyone brutally, showcasing amazing skill. Afterwards, he cuts Ovi free and takes him out. He manages to tuck him in a car, thus completing the first half of the mission. The scene changes and we are at the top of a building. We see Amir Asif, who is overseeing a group of children. He uses these children as his eyes and ears. Since someone has stolen his money, he is interrogating everyone. Before he could punish the children, the police colonel comes and lets him know of his escape from Ovi. Amir orders the police to close the city. On the other hand, we see Tyler reaching the planned spot with Ovi. Here he suits him up, giving him the necessary gear, giving him something sugary for energy, and making a video of him which would act as evidence to secure the payment for his extraction. After all of this is done, they march through the greenery towards the boat that is supposed to take them to India. All of Tyler's and Nick's team is in the vicinity, and everything seems to be under control. However, suddenly things start to go awry. They are not receiving the rest of the money and have been ghosted. Suddenly, the people on the boat get ambushed and get killed. Moreover, G, who is Tyler's second man, also gets killed by a masked man. Tyler now understands that there is someone else here and starts to run away with Ovi towards safety. As they are running, the masked man reveals himself and, in an interesting turn of events, we learn that he is Saju. Ovi initially tries to run towards Saju, but Tyler manages to convince him something is wrong. They both enter a car and run away. This is followed by an intense chase, which involves Tyler, the kid, Saju, and literally every policeman in Dhaka. After running through many buildings, and thanks to Tyler's amazing expertise in handling such things, they miraculously manage to get out scot-free. However, as they are about to run away, they are again stopped by Saju. He is more of a match to Tyler's combat skills, but in the end, he also gets overpowered. However, before Tyler is about to finish him off, he is hit by a stray car, which briefly knocks him out. While Tyler is down, Saju goes and gets Ovi. But before he can leave, he is also hit by a truck driven by Tyler. Then they both flee away. Tyler knows they won't be able to run away forever. They need a distraction. Hence, he and Ovi jump from the truck last second, leaving it to crash and burn. This tricks everyone and gives them ample time to recover and continue with the mission. While they are hiding, they receive updates from Nick, which makes them understand what exactly happened. Nick tells them that the clients wanted us to do the hard part of the extraction and then take over, and thus do it all for a minimum cost. Nick tells him to go to a bridge 4 kilometers away in order to be rescued. However, she tells him to leave the kid. But Tyler refuses as he lost his own son through lymphoma and just asks Nick to find his money. Meanwhile, we see a bloody and injured Saju checking into a hotel, from where he calls his family, saying that everything is okay. He tells his wife to go away with the money if he doesn't call within 12 hours. Getting back to Tyler and Ovi, they start their conquest to leave Dhaka. But as they enter a car, they are met by Farhad and some young soldiers that would fire bullets without even thinking. Tyler manages to easily overpower them. Due to the bullets and the consequent noise, the police start to come. Thus, Tyler and Ovi seek refuge in the sewage canals under the roads. Here, Tyler phones Nick and asks her to call Gaspar so that he could take them to safety. Gaspar owes Tyler his life, hence Tyler trusts him. As expected, Gaspar takes care of Tyler and Ovi, and the two rest and heal up in his safe house. Gaspar leaves them to get some rest and privacy, while they chat about their lives. Meanwhile, Farhad goes to the club where Amir is right now and lets him know of his failed attempt in stopping him. He also has cut his finger as punishment for letting him get away. Amir lets him know of a lesson here, that there's always someone out there who is a bigger badass than you. The next day, Gaspar comes and he and Tyler have a long boys' night with whiskey and some good-natured discussion. Slowly, the conversation shifts towards Ovi, and Gaspar talks about how he is doomed to die. He then says that it is better if we kill him ourselves, as it would be a painless death. compared to when Amir kills him. Slowly, Gaspar's plans come to light, and he has struck a deal with Amir, which allows them to kill Ovi themselves and split the reward between him and Tyler. Since Gaspar has called Amir, the two have a big fight, which ends with Ovi coming up and shooting Gaspar twice. He slowly dies, and the scene ends with Ovi crying on Tyler. Now with Gaspar dead and Amir alerted of their location, it was very dangerous for them to stay at Gaspar's house for too long. Tyler has had enough with all of these close calls and running away. He just wants Ovi to reach his family safely. Thus, he comes up with a plan which involves Saju. He will coordinate with Saju, and the two will somehow manage to bring Ovi to the other side of the heavily guarded bridge so that he could be taken via helicopter by Nil and her team to eventual safety. Thus, he contacts Saju and arranges to meet with him the next day early morning. They have a mutual understanding since, despite the previous differences, they have the same goal now, which is to protect Ovi and get him to India so that he is safe. Thus, they devise a plan in which Saju will accompany Ovi to the other side of the bridge, while Tyler would provide them with distraction, which would act as cover for them as they try to evade the blockade arranged for them on the bridge. So, later that day, they commence their mission. Saju comes himself with a cloth to blend in with the crowd, and Ovi wears a cap to hide his identity. The two wait a little distance away from the first blockade. Tyler, on the other hand, sets himself up in a house from which the blockade could be seen. He then launches a grenade launcher at the blockade, which sends everything into ruins, and chaos ensues. In the following confusion, Saju quickly drives through the blockade and goes past the first barrier, which was restricting them towards the path of success. While they manage to get out, Tyler, on the other hand, has to deal with the many soldiers that are attacking him now. However, as he has done countless times in the movie, he manages to kill everyone in his path and begins to follow Saju on foot. Now here is where the real action begins. Saju and Ovi, who have managed to pass through security through good luck and immaculate timing, are suddenly noticed by a policeman who tries to stop them, but they just keep on walking. In the end, the policeman keeps on following them until he reaches them and orders them to stop. He then asks Ovi to remove his cap, and when he does so, the policeman instantly realizes that he is the child they were all instructed to capture. Saju is forced to start fighting them, successfully defends against them, takes Ovi to cover and safety, and leaves him there. Since he was near a heavily guarded place, policemen are now on alert and approaching Saju. Saju starts defending his position, but is outnumbered and needs backup instantly. Meanwhile, Tyler continues to take down policemen and soldiers and is slowly progressing towards the bridge. When Saju radios him of his situation, he quickens his pace and finally manages to enter the bridge. On the other hand, Saju is suddenly shot dead out of nowhere. Since it was a headshot, he instantly dies. Meanwhile, Nil and her team take camp on the other side of the bridge, as they desperately wait for Tyler and Ovi while giving them cover so that they could come. Nil, seeing the shot that killed Saju had also killed some of her men, figures out that there must be a sniper in the distance responsible for this all. She takes refuge under a car and starts to scan the area with her own sniper to see where the shots are coming from. On the other hand, we see Tyler entering the bridge, and now you finally understand what the first scene meant. It was a part cut from this scene. He does the same thing as at the start of the film. He takes down two people, but he is shot down by the sniper. He is about to be killed by it since the first one was not a fatal shot, but Nil finally finds the sniper and kills him with one shot. Ovi runs to Tyler. Tyler, who is down and is functioning on his last bit of energy, asks Ovi to run to Nil. When he hesitantly does so, Tyler gets up and starts killing everyone on the opposite side so that Ovi could cover while he ran. In the end, when he had finally killed everyone and Ovi had safely reached Nil, Tyler, who was exhausted at this point, turns to finally drag himself towards his team. Everyone is happy that it is finally over. However, tragedy strikes and Tyler is shot in the back of his neck by none other than Farhad, who, after shooting, flees. Ovi runs to Tyler, but nothing can be done. He slowly dies. In the last shots of the movie, we see Amir getting killed by Neil in a washroom. Afterward, Ovi dives into a swimming pool and surfaces. As he previously told Tyler, it's not falling into the water that drowns someone, but not being able to get back above the water. As Ovi comes up from the water, a man appears to be watching Ovi from outside the pool. Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on the notification and leave a like to help the channel out.